Redefining Influence: How Strategic Messaging Drives Social Movements in Today's Fast-Paced World, where information competes for attention at lightning speed. Crafting messages that cut through the noise is essential for activists seeking meaningful impact. Whether advocating for environmental justice, racial equality, or gender rights, the power of communication lies not merely in what is said, but how it resonates with individuals and communities. The right message can mobilize millions, shift public opinion, and inspire action, but only when designed with intentionality and clarity. This article explores the principles behind impactful messaging tailored for social change, offering practical strategies to amplify voices and drive progress. Understanding the core principles of effective messaging at its heart, impactful messaging requires a deep understanding of both the issue at hand and the people it affects. Activists cannot assume universal perspectives. Instead, they must tailor their approach to reflect the lived experiences of their target audience. This begins with thorough research and active listening to identify pain points, values, and cultural nuances that shape perceptions. A well-crafted message aligns with the audience's worldview while challenging them to consider new ideas. It avoids jargon and overly technical terms, ensuring accessibility. By bridging the gap between complexity and simplicity, communicators empower their listeners to engage meaningfully with the cause. Cultural relevance plays a pivotal role. A campaign targeting youth may leverage digital platforms and slang, whereas efforts aimed at older demographics might prioritize traditional media and storytelling formats. Adapting tone, imagery, and delivery methods ensures the message feels authentic rather than imposed. Furthermore, effective messaging recognizes the emotional landscape of its audience. Fear, hope, anger, and solidarity are powerful motivators, and understanding which emotions resonate most can transform passive observers into passionate advocates. Know your audience, conduct surveys, interviews, and community forums to gather insights about their concerns, beliefs, and preferred modes of engagement. Balance truth with relatability, present facts clearly, but frame them within narratives that mirror the listener's daily reality. Embrace inclusivity, acknowledge intersectional identities, and avoid generalizations that exclude marginalized groups from the conversation. The power of emotion in mobilizing action. Human beings are wired to respond to stories more deeply than raw data. While statistics provide context, emotion fuels motivation. When activists tap into shared feelings, such as outrage over injustice or hope for a brighter future, they forge connections that transcend logic alone. Movements like Black Lives Matter and Fridays for Future succeeded partly because they amplified personal testimonies alongside systemic critiques. These stories humanize abstract issues, allowing audiences to see themselves in the struggle and feel compelled to join it. However, emotional appeal must be balanced with factual accuracy. Overreaching or dramatizing events risks eroding credibility. The goal is to evoke feeling without distorting truth, creating a bridge between passion and purpose. Certain emotional triggers prove particularly effective in activism. Urgency, time is running out, compels immediate action, while empathy, imagine walking in my shoes, fosters connection. Conversely, fear-based messaging can backfire if perceived as manipulative or overwhelming. Case study: The Role of Empathy in Climate Advocacy. A study by the Yale Program on Climate Change Communication revealed that framing climate change is a moral imperative, highlighting its disproportionate impact on vulnerable populations. Increased support among religious conservatives. This underscores how tailoring emotional appeals to diverse values enhances reach. Similarly, campaigns using visuals of children affected by pollution or wildfires have proven more compelling than graphs showing carbon emissions. Images trigger visceral reactions, making distant problems feel immediate and tangible. Bridging the gap between complexity and clarity. Social movements often grapple with complex policies, historical contexts, or scientific evidence. Simplifying these elements without losing nuance is a delicate art. Oversimplification risks misrepresentation, while excessive detail alienates casual readers. One strategy is to anchor messages in a central metaphor or analogy. For instance, Comparing income inequality to a house built on unstable ground makes an economic policy easier to grasp. Analogies reduce cognitive load, enabling broader audiences to understand core arguments quickly. Breaking down information into digestible chunks also improves retention. Infographics, bullet point summaries, and bite-sized videos serve as tools to convey dense material without sacrificing depth. They cater to modern habits of scanning rather than reading extended texts. Clarity extends beyond language to visual design. Consistent branding, legible fonts, and strategic color choices enhance readability. In protest signs or digital banners, simplicity ensures messages remain visible and memorable amidst chaos. Leveraging storytelling to build connection. Storytelling transforms data into experience, turning numbers into lives. Personal anecdotes about individual struggles or triumphs. Representation matters profoundly. Marginalized communities deserve agency in shaping their own narratives. Outsourcing their stories to outsiders without consent perpetuates stereotypes and reinforces power imbalances. Collaborative storytelling models respect autonomy and foster mutual growth. Transparency is another cornerstone. Clearly disclosing sources, acknowledging limitations, and admitting mistakes build credibility. Apologizing when errors occur demonstrates accountability and strengthens relationships with supporters. Ethical messaging also involves respecting boundaries. Sensitivity to trauma-informed practices prevents re-traumatization when discussing sensitive topics. Ensuring that all participants feel safe and valued sustains collective momentum without compromising well-being. Fostering community through dialogue and participation. Messages gain strength when they invite participation rather than dictate actions. Engaging audiences in dialogue. Finally, recognizing that not everyone agrees is equally important. Constructive debate strengthens movements by addressing dissent thoughtfully. Listening to opposing views without dismissing them fosters resilience against polarization. Measuring success beyond numbers. Traditional metrics like follower counts or petition signatures measure visibility, but true impact transcends quantitative indicators. Long-term shifts in attitudes, behaviors, and institutional reforms reflect deeper societal transformation. Surveys tracking knowledge before and after campaigns reveal educational gains, while qualitative assessments capture nuanced changes in perspective. Testimonials from participants illustrate personal journeys influenced by messaging efforts. Success also hinges on sustaining momentum. Movement fatigue can arise when demands overwhelm supporters, underscoring the importance of pacing and prioritizing high-impact initiatives. Balancing urgency with sustainability preserves energy for lasting change. Ultimately, measuring success requires humility. Even the best-laid plans may require recalibration. Remaining open to feedback and willing to adapt ensures that messaging continues evolving in tandem with the ever-changing world it seeks to alter. Conclusion: impactful messaging is neither accidental nor superficial, it is a deliberate craft rooted in empathy, ethics, and innovation. Its power lies in connecting individuals to larger struggles, empowering them to envision alternative futures, and equipping them with tools to enact change. To harness this power effectively, activists must commit to continuous learning, collaboration, and reflection. Every message sent carries the potential to spark ripples of transformation, reminding us that the way we communicate shapes not just opinions, but realities.